Hello, my subbies. Vigejtestinen heute. Uh, if you're wondering where I've been, I got into grad school. Yay! So I've been busy mentally and physically preparing for that, putting things away, getting things ready, so on and so forth, and just having a great summer. So I hope you all have had a good summer thus far. Today, I'd like to talk to you about my tattoos. I've covered everything else, so I thought, why not? I'm going to talk about uh, the procedure, my recommendations on placement, and what tattoos I have, and the pain scale. So, my first tattoo is of a Hello Kitty face. So I was relatively small, and I got it on my right hip. So it doesn't get in contact with the sunlight. It hasn't faded. It looks great. The reason why I'm stating this is because my other one is not doing so well, and I have no idea why. Um, I got it when I was 20, and it was for my birthday. And I had called I decided to do something crazy, so I decided to call every tattoo place that I could, and I made a list of exactly what I needed out of them, the qualifications, everything like that, and just all the general questions I had, and actually see if they would answer my questions. And I ended up picking the one that answered everything and had no problem with that. And went in not entirely prepared for what I was about to do, but just, wanted to get it done. So I was super excited. I talked to my tattoo artist. She said it would only take 15 minutes to do, so that was pretty good. And I had to make a deposit of $60, and that was what the tattoo cost. So basically, I paid for it right away up front, and only had to tip my tattoo artist because you should tip them. Um, I had the pain scale. I would say was about a 9, and I turned green around the gills, and it was really hard to focus. It was an entirely different animal of all of its own. Feeling the needle hitting the bone was something else entirely. But I got through it, and immediately after, all of the endorphins, the rush, the adrenaline, everything came to a head and just hit me all at once, and I loved it. So I thought, at some point, I'm gonna get another one. Well, I got my second one within the same year around Christmas time. Silly, silly, silly decision to make because you need time to decide what you're going to want. Unless you already have in your head exactly what you want, you've already picked it out, you've already planned ahead and everything, but people change their minds. And I got something that I was kind of a little pressured into getting. It wasn't exactly what I wanted. What I originally wanted was just stars, and I wanted them to maybe be black or yellow, gold yellow. And I ended up doing stars and music notes because I talked to my tattoo artist about what I did, and I used to sing a lot, so she said, let's go with something you really like. And it didn't end up turning out so well because I ended up getting it longer, and I almost got more. It's on my hip, and I almost got it really high, but I didn't want to do that because I want to be able to hide it if I had to. So it ended up, the pain scale was about a 10 because it was hitting so many nerve endings. It was crazy. I was gritting my teeth. I was trying to breathe. It was really hard. And I turned green again and everything. And I remember just looking at it and thinking, I'm just doing this for the experience. It doesn't mean anything to me in terms of the last tattoo I got. As silly as that tattoo was, it meant something because it was something I really wanted, and Hello Kitty is something that's near and dear to my heart. So I thought, well, if I ever do this again, I have to really plan it out because it's permanent, and I don't feel like going in and getting it removed. So it ended up shifting a little bit. The ink moved. It's kind of weird looking now. It's not like atrocious or anything, but it just needs to be touched up, and I'm hoping that I can go somewhere else at some point. or they specialize in more detailed tattoos, and just get that fixed up and maybe get it to look like something else I'd rather want. I'm more into cover-ups than removals. My third tattoo is a white ink tattoo, and it's hard because I have to turn it. This is Joshua 1:9, and it's a Bible verse, so take that for what you will. But I decided I wanted something that meant a lot to me, and the scripture does mean a lot. And every time I look at it, I still get that same, oh, it's so wonderful kind of feeling. I decided to get white ink because everybody and their mother has a black ink wrist tattoo. And I've seen other girls wear it and it looks so nice. But I figured I'm so pale. If I get white ink, it might stand out a little more. It might, look more natural. It might look better. And I just thought about, what about jobs? What about all of these things? So I really, really put a lot of thought into it before I got it done. And I remember seeing white ink, and I'd never seen white ink before, and it just spoke to me. It was something I thought, this is what I need to do. No color, anything, just white ink. See if my tattoo artist would do it. And luckily enough, she could do it. There's sometimes a problem with ink transfer when they actually put the transfer on and they try to remove it, remove the residue, the ink or whatever, when they decide that, okay, that's where the tattoo's going, that's the guideline. Well, they really have to really remove it when you're getting white ink, and sometimes it can bleed in. So I have a little bit of blue, but luckily that coincides with my blue veins, so it just looks like it's because of my veins. I get a lot of compliments on it. I never ever get any kind of disdain or anything like that, like, oh, why would you do that, or anything like that. It's really nice. In terms of pain, I would say that was about an 8 or a 9, and that's because it's a whole new kind of pain. It really does feel like a cat scratch for that. I know that some people have said that's what a tattoo feels like in general, but this one really did. It felt like someone was taking a needle or a nail and rubbing it against my wrist really roughly. I was able to breathe through it though and deal with it, and I had mentally prepared myself for what was coming. I did research on the difference and the placement and everything, and picked out everything exactly as I wanted, and it was just, it was worth it to me. I don't know if I'd ever get anything done on my other wrist, but because I like how this looks and how subtle it is, and I don't think I want too much attention drawn to my wrists if I had tattoos, and I think 2 might be too much, but you never know. In terms of placement, I highly recommend where I've gotten mine done. The wrist is kind of iffy, but because of the white ink, I think it makes it look unique and elegant, and it blends in very well with my skin tone. I wanted to make sure I didn't get something that was going to turn a different color or anything like that, but because I'm so pale, it hasn't changed a bit. And I highly recommend getting tattoos on your hips, because that is a great place to hide things. You don't have to worry about wearing a long sleeve shirt. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff, and it's just easily coverable. So those are black ink, by the way, because I didn't know about white ink at the time, and I don't think I would have gotten white ink for those, but I think from now on, any other tattoo that I get that might be somewhat visible will be white ink, because it's gone so well for me. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to leave them down below or send me a message, and I will be happy to answer them. I hope you all have a good day. Bye-bye.